It's the old Yorkshire geek here, and I'm on screen again with stars behind me. Fingers crossed. Green screen. I'm sure it'll all go wrong, but we'll see. Anyway, as you might have guessed by, where is it? That side. That little thing there. It's Star Wars, which means it's Obi-Wan. And it's episode 4. I don't have chapter titles. I've got my Star Wars cap on, as you may see. No flat cap today because it's over there somewhere and I couldn't be bothered getting it. Right, so off we go. By the way, before we start, don't forget, I haven't done this for a while, up there in the top, your right, to my left, your right, don't forget to like and subscribe and share the videos and, drop a comment if you agree with me or disagree with me, think I'm full of poo, which I am. But do all that cool stuff and hopefully we'll get some more subscribers and the channel will grow and all that malarkey. Right, so let's get the video up. Where have I put the bloody thing? It's down here somewhere. It's not a live video, as you can see, but I'm still using the Streamlabs desktop machine. So we're recording it as live, but there might be some tweaks and edits here and there if I make a bugger of it. So I might jump about suddenly. But whatever. Right, here we go. Right, Stradoosh. Right, so we've got a recap. You know what happened. He went to that planet, he met Darth Vader, they had a fight, he got burned, and Leia got taken by Reva, the third sister, and this is what we're seeing in the recap. But he did it there. Oh, look, he's getting pulled into the flames. That looks poo, doesn't it? That looks nothing like Ewan McGregor, that, does it? Not to me, anyway. Is it a totally CG figure, that? I think it is. I think that's a CG figure. I don't think it's a stunt man. Anyway, we'll see. Or maybe it's, enhanced with CG, but it still looks rubbish. And there's Leia about to get caught by Reva. So, right, off we go. Here's the opening titles. Oh, we've got some different ones. Yes, so let's go through them one at a time. The armourer has disappeared, and we'll go through it. We've got some weird robots that I don't know what they are. Right, so there we go. That's a robot. Oh, that's that loader, isn't it? Don't know what that is. No, I do know what that is. That's the timekeeper droid thing. At the factory that Kenobi was cutting up that big shark creature. It looked like tuna meat, didn't it? I think that's the time thing. The clocker in and out that's got the... I'm pointing with my fingers, but you can't see. Can you see me? Yes, you can. There, I think that's the that whistle thing. That steam whistle. Why would a droid in a galaxy far, far away have a steam whistle? When I said those words, and I used that's my drinking game, isn't it? And I ain't got a drink with me. I forgot to get one. So I'll probably go all dry and cotton mouth. 3PO. So why have they taken the armourer off? Kylo. X-Wing pilot. I think is that a new one? It might be, it might not, I don't know. R2. Mando. Oh, that's Lola, isn't it? I'm trying to think, what the hell's that? But yes, that's Lola, isn't it? That's another new one. And Vader. I think that might be it. Yeah. That's it. So there you go. So we've got some new heads at the beginning. Dee. Here we go. Here's the opening. Can you see it? Have I centered it right? Can you see it all? Obi-Wan Kenobi. Yes, it's all there. Ooh, just. Right. So, by the way, I've seen not other reviews. I haven't seen any other reviews, but I've seen people talking about this. Done like the reactions to this episode. So this cap's a bit small for my. Oh, I've just realised I've disappeared, haven't I? Where's me webcam gone? Let's move me up. There we go. I'm back again. Yay! I won't start again. Cause what's the point? Cause I'm stupid. Right. So we're back. What were I saying? Oh, yeah, I've seen not some reviews, but some reactions to this, and a lot of people didn't seem to like this episode, but I thought it was quite good. It's a shorter episode. I think it's about 38 minutes, where the other ones have been like, close to an hour. But I didn't mind this episode. There's some problems with it, logical problems where you think, why didn't they do this? Why has that happened, without repercussions, so to speak? But we'll get to that. Anyway, so, right, Obi-Wan is coming round. It's all blurry. Remember, he was rescued by that loader droid from the flames, because somehow Vader, who controlled flames a few minutes earlier, or even seconds earlier, decided not to, douse the flames that Indira Varma, I forgot her name, is it Tala or something? Her name is something like that. She set them off, didn't she? She shot some machine and it set all these flames off. Vader decided just to let Kenobi go for some reason. Don't know why. That's one of the problems that we get. But never mind. Anyway, so they've rescued him. She's got him in a ship, and they're on the way to another planet. As usual, I've watched it once. And I've made no notes. So, as usual, I don't remember the names of characters or planets we've gone to. Because I'm an idiot. And I forget to make notes. But they go to this other planet. It's got 2 eyes in it. I remember that. Together. So they go there and they stick him in a Bacta tank. And it's ready. When it's ready. Look, he's all burnt. Look, is that him? Showing his burns. So they stick him in a Bacta tank, and while they see him in there, I don't know if they're just juxtaposing it with images of Vader in his tank, or if there's some sort of connection between Kenobi and Vader. There we are, he's in his Bacta tank there. And I don't know if he's got some sort of connection with that. I think that's Vader, isn't it, that one? In his tank, or if they're just, showing him. And then we see Vader's still got a real hand, which I wasn't exactly certain. He still had a real hand, but he has, so there we go. Anyway, he comes to in his Bacta tank, and he gets out himself, and they tell him, no, you're not finished healing. There we go, and there he is coming out. Indira Varma says, no, you're not finished healing. And then we cut to the fortress, what do they call them? Inquisitorius. I nearly said Illuminatius. Same sort of thing. It's a pyramid, isn't it? On this planet, I forgot what that is as well, but apparently it's in the Mustafar system, so it's not far from Vader, from his castle. But it's on a moon in the Mustafar system. So is it one of Mustafar's moons? Or is it, another planet in the Mustafar? I don't know. Is Mustafar the name of the planet or the name of the star? See, that's something that they've never really come to grips with in Star Wars. There's a bit of confusion. They call stuff like Tatooine system, but Tatooine's the planet in it, and the stars are Tattoo 1 and Tattoo 2. But they always say Tatooine system, and same like Alderaan. But in things like Star Trek, they name it after the stars, don't they? So it'd be like the Sol system for us, or the I don't know, another one that's they name the star, don't they? So that system. Anyway, whatever. So there's Leia. She's obviously been captured by the third sister, Reva. You can't see either of them because Leia's covered up by me, and third sister's covered up by my little red boxes. See if we can get another one. There, that's a bit better, isn't it? So she's basically, asking her where the they call it the path, where this like underground railroad that's helping Jedi and other people escape the Empire, and she's wanting to know where they are. It's the same as in A New Hope when Vader is asking her, where the rebel base is. It's the same, isn't it? And I half expected her to use Dantooine. again, but she don't. Anyway, so Obi-Wan, who's still going by the name Ben, everybody still calls him Ben. Oh, by the way, back here. I think it's either back here or where are we? Come on. Oh, tell you. Go on, go back to. No, I don't want to see. I want to go back to these two. There we go. She's told. Reva says to her, Obi-Wan is dead. And now I thought she didn't know him as Obi-Wan. I thought she just knew him as Ben. So maybe she does know he's Obi-Wan, but or maybe she does now. But I don't know. But it was in my head canon that when she was sent to Tatooine in A New Hope, she didn't know him as Ben. Saying that though, I don't know, because she says when Luke Skywalker says, "I'm here to rescue you. I'm here with Ben Kenobi." She goes, "Ben Kenobi," doesn't she, and jumps up. So, but so she does know him as Ben. So she knows him as both, doesn't she? Because in the recording, she asked for Obi-Wan Kenobi, doesn't she? You're my only hope. So I don't know. So yeah. Anyway, so there we go. So anyway, she doesn't crack. Meanwhile, back on this other planet, this is like, these people that are running this underground railroad. I can't remember his name, but he seems to be in charge, and he doesn't really want to help Obi-Wan. He says, he's put them all in danger, and he actually calls him General. But then he just suddenly changes his mind. He says, "Yeah, all right, we'll help you." Apparently, his wife, this other chap, were force sensitive, and she were hunted by the Inquisitors, and they killed her. So there we go. And we find later on that not only do they kill, force sensitive people and Jedi, they don't just dispose of the bodies; they take them to the Fortress Inquisitorius, and they've got like a room with all these tanks with these preserved bodies in. But we'll get to that. So anyway, they decide that he says, Obi-Wan says they've got to go to the Fortress Inquisitorius to save Leia. He says, she's super important because, meanwhile Luke is just by himself on Tatooine, where there's just been Inquisitors and stuff. But, Luke's not important anymore, is he? Luke's not important. There's India of Armour. I actually like her character. I think she's spunky. She's quite good. They're just talking about her. There we go. So here we've got some nice graphics of the fortress, nice little hologram, and he's saying, they got this information. They don't know much about it. They don't know how deep it goes under the ocean or anything like that. But there we go. Where is she? Can you see her? No, she's behind that. Never mind. But Idea of Armour, is it Tala? Whatever. She says she can get them on board because she's still got her officer clearance. So obviously the Empire doesn't know she's switched sides yet. Although they'd have, got rid of her from the system, wouldn't they? Or you'd have thought so. And so she says she can get him in because she's got officer clearance. So they think, right, fair enough. And Obi-Wan mentions that they've got to attack the base or whatever. And he says they've got some T-47s. Remember, they're snow speeders from Hoth that we saw. And they come into play later on. But, as I said, that's later on. No, it's the... I bet I can't see it now. There were an R2 unit in the background there. Oh, there it is. Oh, you can't see it. Never mind. But it's not one I know. It's not R2. It's just another astromech. Cost the 10 a penny. Right, so she says she's going to take him. So she does. There they go. So off they go to this planet. She must have landing clearance as well, but I don't think we see that. Here we go. Now she's got a uniform back on, and they're just. Meanwhile, the interrogation continues of Leia, and she's actually using the Force. I know she's doing it now, but she does a little bit later. She's been, nasty with her. I think she says she tries to persuade her at first, and then Leia says, "Yeah, all right, she'll tell you," but then I've got to tell my father first, because, You know, we're all on the same side, because that's what Reva said to her. We're all on the same side. Doesn't make out that the Empire's good. She says, I'll have to tell my father first. And Reva says, nice try, princess. So that hasn't worked. Dee. Here we go. Right, here comes the shuttle. I don't know if I've seen this sort of shuttle before. It looks kind of new. I don't know. But there we go. TIE fighters there, all hung there, or hanging there. And we see later on that they don't even use them. Something happens later. The T-47s, spoilers, the T-47s fly in and attack. And nobody gets, the TIE fighters don't even launch. How did the T-47s even get close to this super amazing base? I mean, surely it's one of the most well-guarded places in the galaxy. It's the base of the Inquisitors, for Christ's sake. But that's later. Right, so she can just land. We think, where's Obi-Wan gone? But we find out in a minute. She goes strolling through the base, and she goes up to this a checkpoint, and the fella there, the guard, asks her for her identification because he doesn't recognise her. So she gives him her ID, and he says she's not cleared for this sector. And she tells him, she outranks him for a start, and she tells him she's there with classified information about something or other. So basically she just, she blags her way through. There we go. So there we find out. She gets to a console. She just sat at this console talking on the communicator thing with Obi-Wan, who's swimming here, reminiscent of Phantom Menace. He's got his breather on his swimming. I don't know how deep he is. Obviously, water pressure isn't at play. Mustn't be that deep. Anyway, she's on this console talking in the communicator, and there's other people around her, and there's people walking about, and there's other people on other consoles, and she's talking quietly, but surely they can hear her. Anyway, she says she's going to open a dock, a bay, whatever, a thing underneath the sea, and what they call a moon pool. That's what it is, but it's a moon pool. So there he is with his breather. Don't know how cold that water is, but it's all right. What's this creature? Is that a Dianoga? I don't know. Could be an Easter egg of a Dianoga, maybe. Anyway, so it comes out. There's we see inside. There's a guard guarding the moon pool, and he hears a noise. He goes inside. Oh, never mind. And then we look at Obi-Wan grabs him, and then we see there he's floating in the moon pool. And Obi-Wan comes out and is, dripping wet. You'd think he'd get hypothermia, but we had to think about things like that because that's just complicates matters. Right, Leia, she's been Reva's using the Force on her. Now you'd think, wouldn't you? I know that you could say the same about Vader, but she's obviously using Jedi mind probe, or in their case it's a Sith mind probe, I suppose. She's using a mind probe on her, and she's obviously resisting. She can't get anywhere. And you think she'd be able to tell that if she's resisting, she must be Force sensitive. If she's resisting, she just says she's strong. So if you're just strong-willed, does that mean you can resist a mind probe? A Force mind probe. It must do. I don't know, because her resistance to the mind probe is considerable. Right. And I think that is the mind probe. I'm pointing at that. I think they see it. That's the mind probe. And when we see Dr. Ball in A New Hope with all these syringes on, I don't think people think, oh, that's the mind probe. But I don't think that is. I think that's just some sort of medical thing that's just going to inject her and make her more susceptible. But obviously it doesn't work. Anyway, but that's just my headcanon again. She walks out. Unsuccessful in getting information out of Leia. Oh, there we go. So she takes Lola flies out, and it's like she's going to try and attack Reva, and Reva just stops it, obviously. And I thought, well, why is it attacking her? But Reva had to get hold of Lola because, as we see later on, she does something. I don't know if she reprograms Lola. I'm calling her a she, I don't know. Oh, you can't see her from me toy G thing, but Lola's under there. Hang on, where are we? Obi-Wan episode 4. Just move you. There we go. There's Lola, look, she's there. In her hand. Where are we going? Move you back. Yeah, bugger. There we go. Where were we? So she got Lola, and she puts a tracking device in Lola. Spoilers. So that happens. So there's Tala. I'm probably getting that wrong. I can't remember her name. Indira Varma, the sand snake woman. She's talking here on this communicator, and all these people are walking about, and there's other people sitting at other consoles. But eventually, might be him, I don't know, but another officer comes up and asks her what she's doing, and she's not cleared for this sector or whatever. And she goes and beats him up. I don't know if she kills him or not. Here we go. So he says, come with me. And while they're out of the way, she beats him up and leaves him unconscious. Nobody else notices. But there you go. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan's got to avoid these seeker droids, which are like mini versions of probe droids. And, I suppose they're kind of cool. Here we go. But it's easily bamboozled. He just goes in, closes the door, it looks in through the window, and then flies away again. Don't they have sensors? Can't they do like heat signatures and stuff like that? Obviously not. If you hear noises, you might not be able to, but Princess, my cat, I think she's jumping up at the window. She wants to come in. She always picks the times when I'm doing these videos to decide she wants to come in, but she'll have to wait. She's all right. It's not raining. She'll be fine. So Obi-Wan is obviously he's trying to find where Leia is, and Indira Varma is talking to him on the communicator. Obviously, he loses contact with her for a bit because of the officer pulling her away from the console there. And there we see, you can't see it, but we see the communicator there, and they did a little thing on it where you hear Obi-Wan's voice coming out saying, Tala, where are you? And that's supposed to be reminiscent of what happened in A New Hope. This episode is basically the Death Star part of A New Hope where they're saving Princess Leia. That's basically it. Because nothing's new under the sun. There we go, a couple of stormtroopers. They're walking down this corridor and they hear something. But Obi-Wan, he hides and he uses the Force to make them go in the wrong direction. There they are, look. So, they're sorted out without killing them. So, anyway, it goes through this corridor. We see this corridor again later. It's the sea outside there. It's obviously some sort of connecting conduit, because the glass, plexiglass or whatever they call them, Duraglass or I don't know what they call them, through there. I think that is, anyway. Actually, no, it might not be. This might be a different... It looks like a corridor that we see later. It's probably just a redress. The same set, redressed. Meanwhile, the interrogation continues, blah, blah, blah. She's not breaking. Because she's strong and all that jazz. This might be the bit where she's saying she needs to talk to her father, and doesn't work. Because they're going, that's it, because she says to her, they're going to have to, she hopes she likes pain, so they basically pick her up, stormtroopers, and they bring her to a bit like what we saw in Empire, where they strapped Han Solo to a table, and I thought, crikey, they're going to torture a child, and I think that's actually what they were going to do. But obviously that doesn't happen. Right, Obi-Wan is found where he thinks she is, but he opens the door and it's not her. There's just these tanks with all these dead, I presume pickled, Force-sensitive people in. And there's adults and children, and there's a youngling that we see. There we go, I don't know who that is. I'm sure it's somebody important. People that know far more about Star Wars than me will say, oh, look, that's so-and-so, but I don't know who it was. Right, so they're going to start the torches, these arms, and they've got, needles and stuff on. They start moving into position. Obviously, it's like a Dr. Evil thing with this slow-moving and easily escapable contraption. She gets called away. There's Reva. I probably missed it, but there we go. Anyway, Reva, she gets called away just as it's all about to start. The torture. Oh, there's the youngling. Another officer comes in and says, sorry for interrupting, but she said it was important. So Reva goes out the room, and we see it's in Indira Varma. She's making out that she's got information. Here we go. She's got there. This is the interruption. There we go. She's making out that she knows where the headquarters of the Path is. Here we go. And she says it's on some planet, Flotsam or something. I don't know. She says it's on this planet. And it's obviously lying because it's not there. Because we've been to where it is and it wasn't where she said. So she's just calling a distraction. That's what Obi-Wan earlier on said, create a distraction. So this is the distraction. Which allows Obi-Wan to go in the room. The lights go off and he kills the 2 guards, 2 stormtroopers with his lightsaber. And it's all kind of cool. He saves Leia. There she is. And the lighting, quite a bit reminiscent of the what they call it, carbon freeze chamber, isn't it? But on Bespin, Cloud City. Anyway, she talks. I don't think Reva believes her. She thinks she's a traitor, and she says, yes, well, she thinks she's a spy. That's it. She says, you're a spy. She says, yes, of course I'm a spy. We're in the Path organisation for 2 years, so she says she's a spy for the Empire. But Reva don't really believe her. Then all the alarms go off because Ben's got Leia. Then we've got Seeker Droid finds them. And so all sorts of actions start. She's going to be taken for interrogation. Reva's sodded off to see what the alarm's about, and Tala makes short work of these two stormtroopers, not Stu Stormtroopers. These 2 stormtroopers, he makes short work of them. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan's gone all Jedi and he's uses some cool powers and stuff in a minute. But in the meantime, he's deflecting blaster bolts and all that, doing all this cool Jedi stuff. I'm sure it's all flooding back to him. Reva's on the way with I don't know who that is. I couldn't really make this. Is it a Death Trooper? I don't know, but wearing a skirt. I don't know. It's I don't know what it is. Or it's just some different sort of stormtrooper that we've not seen before. Anyway, so all this is going off. One of the blaster bolts hits the glass. I don't know if we're going to see it. Probably not, because I'm not that good at these pauses. Oh, there we go. One of the blaster bolts hits the glass. One thing I've wondered, I know it's plasma energy or whatever, but wouldn't it just go straight through? I don't know. Or would it? I don't know. I don't know about that. I've always wondered. I mean, we saw it in Rogue One, didn't we? When one of them, I can't remember if it was Cassian Andor or the other one. The female, the heroine of the thing, I forgot her name, shoots the window with the blaster, and I always thought, why would it do that, or did it just pass through it? Because it's light, innit? Why the light to just go through the window? But I don't know. But it's not just light; it's energy, isn't it? Anyway, it's cracked the glass. So obviously we're going to have a lot of water coming in quite soon. But Ben uses the Force to hold it back, in, while still fighting these stormtroopers and stuff. And he tells Indira Vam to take Leia and go. It says, "I'll hold it back." And then some more stormtroopers come in. He closes. There's like a blast door. Oh, there we go. Missed it. There's a blast door. He closes that. But then he lets the window break, and he goes running, and he just makes it through the blast door at the other end, and they've escaped for the time being. There we go. See, stormtroopers floating about. I presume they were already dead, from blaster bolts. Cause I don't know. Would the stormtrooper be able to breathe underwater with his helmet on? I don't know. No, sorry, this made me laugh. So she finds a big coat, puts it on Obi-Wan, and sticks a hat on him. Couldn't look any more suspicious. Meanwhile, there's a lump here. You can't see it, but we'll see it in a minute, I should imagine. Leia's under the coat, so they're walking through. Oh, dear. And again, this reminded me of Austin Powers, where the Mini-Me and Austin go on under the big coat, and Mini-Me's at the bottom, and Austin's on his shoulders. It just reminded me of that. Meanwhile, the other Inquisitors are... He's not happy. He's saying this is the third sister's fault. She'll pay for what she's done, because all the alarms are going off. Meanwhile, Ben and Indira Vam are coming, and Leia's underneath the coat, not very well hidden. But obviously, they're not very observant of these stormtroopers and officers. They're running about doing their duty, but not doing their duty very well. Right, Reva arrives with her guards. I presume they're Death Troopers, or some kind of Death Troopers, or a spin-off of Death Troopers. I don't know. They might have some name. I'm sure there'll be a what do they call that? Them DK. Is it Darling Kind? That doesn't sound right, does it? Whatever. Them DK books. I'm sure there'll be one. A pictorial guide to Obi-Wan Kenobi, where we'll find out everything about it. So you think, oh right, our heroes are done for now. They've been captured, but then the T-47s come in. When they're ready. Somebody just stands about and does nothing. While we're here, there they go, here they come in, go, start shooting things up. Thankfully, the good shots of these pilots. There we go. It's all blowing up. Don't have a chance to launch any TIE fighters, obviously. But how did they even get close enough? Is there a thing as in Star Wars? Is there such a thing as flying below the radar? I don't know. So anyway, here we go. So they're shooting their way, and I think my Bob arrives. I'm going to call it a snow speeder, even though they're not that. The T-47s are there, but we all know them as snow speeders. And they climb aboard one and fly away, and then the other one comes in and causes a distraction. Here we go. Shooting. Pew, 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 pew. And we think, yeah, they've got away. But we know one of them's going to die. And he does. It's called Wade. Remember that other pilot's called Wade, and I've missed it. Reva throws something. Let's see if I can catch it. She throws something, and it hits the other. I think I've missed it, haven't I? I've gone too far. Or not. Whatever. There we go. She throws something, it hits his speeder, makes it blow up, and he crashes into the sea, and he's dead. So that's one of them, mate. But he dies a hero. Anyway, so they fly away, and they rendezvous with a ship that's waiting for them out there somewhere. Why hasn't that other ship been stopped? But then we find out she's... There we go, Reva's, pardon me, got a plan that she not telling us about. But then Vader, he's not happy. Here we go. Here he comes. Look, he's mincing down the corridor. It walks funny. It's not a Vader walk, and I don't know. He's not the Vader we know. I suppose you could say there's 10 years between now and A New Hope, but in the original trilogy, he walked with more purpose and more slowly. He didn't have to rush anywhere, did he? He just walked, didn't he? Because he was menacing, but he seems to be moving about and walking more quickly in this, and I don't know, it doesn't seem right to me. Anyway, so he's not happy, so he's got Reva in a, he's holding with the Force. Where am I? There, doing that. And she says she's got a tracker on their ship. They'll lead them, right to the path. So he lets her go. All right, fair enough. So, and then he just walks out, I do believe. He seems happy that she's sorted that out. So they fly away. They're all safe. Tell them that Wade didn't make it. Dee. And it ends when we see Lola in a minute. We see Lola when it's ready. Oh, right, Leia puts her hand on his hand. He does for support, because she's the real star of this show, isn't she? It's not really about Obi-Wan. It's about Leia, isn't it? It's not even about Luke. It's about bloody Leia. But never mind. There we go. There's Lola. She comes to life underneath there, and we see a little eye, which I think were blue before, is now red. So she's turned evil, or she's just been. It's just because she's got a tracker on her, hasn't she? It's not a she, it's an it. But that's how the episode ends. There we go. That's how it ends. No bits at the end, because they don't do stuff like that. So there we go. So we'll get rid of that. So while I did kind of enjoy the episode, it was okay. It was basically the Death Star rescue from A New Hope, wasn't it? But without Luke and Han and Chewie. But it was just that. But it was well made, and I quite enjoyed the action parts. There's some logical bits in it that you think, I don't understand why that's happened. How did that rebel? We'll call them rebels. They call them the Path, don't they? But it's rebels, aren't they? How did that rebel ship get close enough? How did it get into the atmosphere of this moon? I forgot what they call it. It's called Nun or Non or I don't know. But how did it, get there without being, intercepted? There should be patrol, shouldn't there? But it doesn't. But plot reasons. I mean, you think the Fortress Inquisitor has been one of the most heavily guarded facilities in the Empire, but obviously not, because it gets attacked by T-47s. I mean, they're not even X-Wings out like that. The speeders are the T-47 speeders, which are basically just, the glorified land speeders, but can go a bit higher. They're not quite sky hoppers, but a bit better than land speeders. And yeah, so, but, they needed it for the rescue, I suppose. But yeah, it was okay. But that's all it's been so far, hasn't it? This series, it's just been okay. It's met me big again. Where's me webcam? It's there. Met me big. Probably mess up the green screen, but never mind. You can see me alien and me Starfleet thing and me ring of power. Where were we? Oh yeah. So as I said, it was okay. I didn't hate it. Some bits of it made me scratch my head. Why didn't Reva sense that Leia was force sensitive when she was doing a mind probe? You'd think so, wouldn't you? Even if it's not for certain, you'd think she'd get an inkling that Leia has force, sensitivity at least. And the the T-47 thing. How did they manage to attack the base without being intercepted? I mean, it could be argued that Reva were behind it. She told them, the TIE fighters or whatever to stand down, the patrols to let them through, because she had this plan of using the tracker on Lola to find out where they're going. So that could be argued. We've still no Grand Inquisitor. He's still dead. I thought he might pop up. Or I thought we might have seen him in the one of the tanks with all the Jedi. I thought we might have seen like either him in a tank dead or him in a back to tank recovering. I thought we might have seen that, but we didn't. But that's about it, really. Like I say, it was a shortish episode, and it was, it went through at a fair clip. We've only 2 episodes left, so I don't know what's going to happen next week. We'll see. I suppose they're going to arrive at wherever they're going, to this other planet with 2 eyes in it. And I presume there'll be some sort of Imperial attack there. The Inquisitors will arrive, and it'll all turn out fine, because we know Obi-Wan makes it, we know Leia makes it, we know everybody survives pretty much. But I'm sure there'll be tense moments. I don't think Indira Varma's going to make it out of this series alive, but we'll see. But there has been talk that Reva, or is it Reva? I've always said Reva. Some people say Reva. I say Reva. Was supposed to die at the end of this series, but there's been rumours that she doesn't die, and that there's going to be a season 2. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, won't we? So there you go. So another score, another 6 out of 10. I think I've given them all 6 out of 10 because that's all they are. They're all okay. They're passable. They're watchable. They're not bad, but they're not amazing either. But there was some good scenes. I did like Obi-Wan with his, using his lightsaber and using the Force to hold the water back. That were quite cool. And there were some nice little member berries. They like the member berries, don't they? Like from the Phantom Menace, them swimming underwater. And if it were a dire ogre, I don't know, but we saw a creature, didn't we, that might have been, and stuff like that. It were okay. So we'll leave it there. Another okay episode with 2 episodes left, and I think the rest of the series is just going to be okay. It's content. It's not amazing. And that makes some people angry. Don't know why, but but it's just there, isn't it? You think they'd do their very best to make it, astonishingly good. Maybe they think it's astonishingly good, but I don't. I just think it's okay, and a lot of people just think it's okay. Even Star Wars fans, you get people like Star Wars Theory and people like that, and they're just saying it's okay. They don't hate it, but they don't love it either. So, which is a problem in itself. We're supposed to love it, aren't we? But we can't, because we're toxic fans. You've got to love it. You've got to just sit there drooling from the corner of your mouth, with your eyes wide open and your pupils dilated, just accepting whatever the throw at you. And you could argue that. In the days when we had free TV, when it was paid for through advertising, and we didn't have to pay for it, you could argue that, because if there was some Star Trek on that were rubbish, you could say, oh well, at least I'm not paying for it. But not now, because it's all through these streaming services that we're paying for. Sorry, I'm knocking my microphone because I'm waving my arms about and getting cross. We're all paying for these streaming services. We're all paying for Disney Plus, and we're all paying for Netflix and all these, and Prime Video. So we should expect the best, because we're paying for it. We're customers. You're not giving us it for free. So do better, Senator. So I'll leave it there. It were okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. It were okay. Some nice actiony bits. They got Leia back, so that's all that matters. So canon's still buggered, isn't it? The Grand Inquisitor's still not come back. Leia knows Obi-Wan, even though she doesn't mention it in A New Hope. She didn't seem very bothered when he died in A New Hope, did she? Really, it was Luke that were bothered. And she probably knows Obi-Wan better than Luke did. But anyway, I'll leave it there. I'll leave that thought with you hanging in the air. So, wherever you are in the universe, look after each other. And until next time, I'll see thee.